जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदनना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय यशोदनन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्जविहारी जय Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Shri Radhe Jaya. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana, Jaya Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Shri Shri Gauranita. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shata Sri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravindha Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON BVD Samstapakacharya, Savior of the whole world, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki, Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shata Sri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki, नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रज भूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय श्री क्षेत्र पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय पंढरीपुर धाम की जय गंगामयी की जय यमुनामयी की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय गोलोक प्रेमदन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय बृहद मृदंगम श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatir uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 4, entitled by the Hamsa Guhya Prayers. verse 35 to 41. So there are the 35 to 40 verses. Actually, Prabhupada didn't write the purport. So the 41st verse is having the purport. So we will go through the translation and purport from 35 to 40, and then in 41st verse today we will recite. No. 35 to 39 verses. This is a translation and till 40. Shri Sukadeva Goswami said, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Hare, who is extremely affectionate to his devotees, was very pleased by the prayers offered by Daksha, and thus he appeared at the holy place known as Aghamarshana. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Kuru dynasty, the Lord's lotus feet rested on the shoulders of his carrier, Garuda, and he appeared with 8 long, mighty, very beautiful arms. In his hands, he held a disc, conch shell, sword, shield, arrow, bow, rope, and club. In each hand, a different weapon, all brilliantly shining. His garments were yellow, and his bodily hue was deep bluish. His eyes and face were very cheerful, and from his neck to his feet hung a long garland of flowers. His chest was decorated with the Kaustuba jewel and the mark of Srivatsa. On his head was a gorgeous round helmet, and his ears were decorated with earrings resembling sharks. All these ornaments were uncommonly beautiful. The Lord wore a golden belt on his waist, bracelet on his arms, rings on his fingers, and ankle belts on his feet. Thus, decorated by various ornaments, Lord Hare, who is attractive to all the living entities of the 3 worlds, is known as Purushottama, the best personality. He was accompanied by great devotees like Narada, Nanda, and all the principal demigods led by the heavenly king Indra and residents of various upper planetary systems such as Siddhaloka, Gandharvaloka, and Charanaloka. Situated on both sides of the Lord and being behind him as well, these devotees offered him prayers continuously. Text number 40. Seeing that wonderful and effulgent form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prajapati Daksha was first somewhat afraid. Then he was very pleased to see the Lord, and he fell to the ground like a stick, Dandavat, to offer his respects to the Lord. So today we'll continue the verse 41. Nakinchanodiraitum asaktivrayamudha apurita manodvarai Hradinya iva nirjaraihi Nakinchanodiraitum asakativrayamudha apurita manodvarai Hradinya iva nirjaraihi Nakinchanodiraitum asakativrayamudha apurita manodvarai Hradinya iva nirjaraihi Mataji's. Na kinchana rahitam asakati vrayamudha apurita manodvarai harinya iva nirjarai. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Word to word meaning, na, not, kinchana, anything, udiraitum, to speak, asakat, he was able, tivraya, by very great, mudha, happiness, apurita, filled, manahadvaraihi, by the senses, hradinyaha, the rivers, iva, like, nirjharaihi, but torrents of the mountain. Translation: as rivers are filled by water flowing from a mountain, all of Daksha's senses were filled with pleasure. Because of his highly elevated happiness, Daksha could not say anything but simply remained flat on the ground. Purport: when one actually realizes or sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is filled with complete happiness. For example, when Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord in his presence, he said, Swamin Kritartosmi Varam Nayache. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 22.42. My dear Lord, I have nothing to ask from you. Now I am completely satisfied. Similarly, when Prajapati Daksha saw the Supreme Lord in his presence, he simply fell flat, unable to speak or ask him for anything. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Na kinchano dhirayitum asakat tibrayamudha Apurita manodvarai Hradinya iva nirjaraihi. As rivers are filled by the water flowing from mountain, all of Daksha's senses were filled with pleasure. Because of his highly elevated happiness, Daksha could not say anything but simply remain flat on the ground. So as we know that this human form of life is the very rarest opportunity of 84 lakhs of species. And in the human form of life, especially coming into the contact with the Vaishnavas, and in the Vaishnavas association, of course, just we are going to the schools or college doesn't mean that just we are going to school, just we are going for the learning something. It's not just like having a glass, which crystal clear glass, and without any muddy, any contamination, doesn't mean it quenches our thirst. It has to be filled with the tasteful water. When we drink it, then we will digest and we will become completely satisfied. So going to the schools and colleges and to learn something means, so we have to realize that knowledge. So similarly, coming in contact with the Vaishnavas doesn't mean just like having just like a crystal clear glass. But what that Vaishnavas are discussing, what that Vaishnavas are sharing with us about the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, and who are we, who is the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, what is our relationship with the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, why we are loitering, how we are suffering here, and where we have to go ultimately to go back home, back to Godhead. And we have to understand this, and we have to study from the Vaishnavas, and we have to realize that. And without that, which our human form of life is, it's like we are wasting of our human form of life. And actually in human form of life, for example, whatever we have, even for the mother, father, children, home, positions, sarvopadi vinurmuktam tattaratvena nirmalam. Only when we will become completely satisfied, as Srila Prabhupada is explained in this, that the rivers are like Daksha's senses has been completely satisfied. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam. So when we are engaging our senses in the service of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, as long as we are engaging all the senses in our own sense gratification, if we are not doing for the service of the Lord and we are not engaging in the service of the Lord anything that matters, then it is our own sense gratification, nothing but a sense gratification, even at the cost of, as I said just initially, that we are being in touch association of the Vaishnavas, but still, it's only just like Prabhupada says that I also have a guru, our family guru. It's just like we are having that family doctor and family physician and family some access karne ke liye jo bhi trainer, tutor. So like that, I also having some Vaishnavas association. But thing is, we have to take the best opportunity from that, and we have to engage all our senses in the service of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. And as soon as we engage our senses in the service of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Hrishikena Hrishikesa Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. So then what happens? Then we will become completely satisfied, as Srila Prabhupada is explained in this purport. As the rivers are flowing and coming into the mountain waters coming, and the rivers are getting the pleasure. So similarly, we will also. So we will see some few of the examples how the senses will get happy, and then we will get nourished and we will get happiness just by simply being in the association and learning. As we know that Srila Prabhupada gives that example, even including this particular verse, Dhruva Maharaj's example Srila Prabhupada is to write. As Dhruva Maharaj says that, Swamin Kritartosmi Varam Nachaye. Dhruva Maharaj at the age of 5 years old. So again, he also wanted to sit in the lap of his father, but somehow or the other, the providence didn't allow him to sit on the lap of his father, which is his desire, of course. As a son, always deserve to be next and sit on the lap of father. But somehow or other, again, he went to his own mother, Suniti, and Suniti, mother, taught Dhruva Maharaj that, yeah, of course, I am your mother, but still, our original mother and father is Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana. So you go and just offer your obeisances to him and do tapasya for him and do some austerities and get the darshan of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. and whatever the desire you have, so then Krishna will fulfill. Even in our scriptures also says, of course, Dhruva Maharaj's desire is not pure devotional service at the beginning stage. He wanted to have a greater kingdom than his great grandfather, that is Brahma. Such a huge kingdom he wanted. With that motivation, he approached. But still, in our scriptures, it's described, even Krishna says that Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udarade tivrena bhakti yogena yajita purushottam. So even at the cost of whatever we are having the desires for our own sense gratification, still Krishna says that just please you ask me. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udarade. So Dhruva Maharaj went and approached Mother Suniti, and Suniti guided that go into the forest and do tapasya, austerities, and for the pleasure of Rishikena, Rishikesa Sevanam. So for the Vishnu, and Vishnu will award you what you have the desiring. So he goes, and in the middle of the path, he met his dear Gurudev, Narada Muni. And initially Narada Muni, whatever he guided him, but he thought of what you are suggesting, Narada Muni, this is for other people, not for me, but I am very fired up with my desire that I wanted the greater kingdom than my own great grandfather. So please, these are all for pacifying that Brahmana kind of people, but I am very Kshatriya, is having very having will to do certain things. So please give me that benediction. So I wanted to please the Supreme Person of a Godhead, and I will get the benediction. So then he says, okay, you have to do like this tapasya, and you have to take bath every day in the morning, afternoon, and evening, and do tapasya, austerities, the minimum, eating, and in everything, bodily necessities, and completely meditate upon the Supreme Person of a Godhead. Vyavasahatmika buddhihi ekeha kurunandana bahushakahi anantasya buddhayo avyavasainam. So with rapt attention, just you can please pray to the Supreme Person of a Godhead, just you will get darshanam. And within, no matter, cutting the short the story, that within the short period of time, in a 6 months, Dhruva Maharaj got darshan of the Supreme Person of a Godhead. And initially he was just like, as we know that he is just only 5 years old age-wise. But he said that I don't have anything just to glorify the Supreme Person of a Godhead. Even if you can see in our scenario, just like a 5-year-old boy, what he can able to glorify the Supreme Person of a Godhead with poetry and Vedic scriptures, singing the glories like meters and everything. So as soon as the Supreme Person of a Godhead touched with his conch on the forehead of the Dhruva Maharaj, so he started glorifying as the Supreme Person of a Godhead. When he also appeared in front of Gajendra, Gajendra was there in the form of animal. What kind of prayers Gajendra can offer to the Supreme Person of a Godhead? But as soon as the Supreme Person of Godhead blessed Gajendra by accepting the small lotus flower through the trunk of Gajendra, even the desperate need, he's just struggling. It's like almost all death experience. But still he offered just that lotus flower, and Krishna blessed Gajendra and started like with poetry and glorifying the Supreme Person of a Godhead. We know the Gajendra prayers. So similarly, Dhruva Maharaj also started praying. So, but as soon as he saw, then he asked Supreme Person of a Godhead, just please ask something. So that's what he mentioned, that Swamin Katartos Mivaram Nachayet. I saw you. Of course, initially, in my heart of the heart, I came with my material desire that I wanted a greater kingdom. But as soon as I took your darshan, so I'm completely satisfied and I don't have any desire. So what does it mean? Just like when initially, just like Dhruva Maharaj wanted to sit on the lap of mother, just father, just to get complete satisfaction. Like a child also. Anytime, whenever he is crying, just like as soon as we bring near to the mother or near to the father, what happens? Just as soon as the mother or the father pick him up and embrace and just put him on the lap, is completely satisfied. So this is Prabhupada quotes. So like that, a mother, as soon as the child sits on the lap of a mother, will completely get satisfied. So similarly, the devotees, when he sees the Supreme Person of a Godhead, he will become completely satisfied. His senses will be completely happy, and there is no more other desire. Furthermore, Prabhupada gives one more analogy, and that we know that everyone, tustik pustik shudaphayu. When the person is so much hungry, Prabhupada gives this analogy that as soon as like we are feeling so hungry, then where we are we are searching for the food. And as soon as the food comes in front of us, the person, that hunger person will take. Then these three greater qualities will appear over there. Tushti, Pushti, Kshudabhayu. Exactly meaning I may mistake. But the thing is, three are the things like, as soon as, because he's feeling hungry, so his belly got completely filled, he completely satisfied. And he got Pushti, he got the strength. Because before that he was completely pale and energyless and everything. As soon as we drink, just like in a Nirjala Ekadashi, throughout the day we will become like completely fasting from even water. Everything will be dried up in your mouth, and we will become so slackening, and even initially the enthusiasm for the chanting will become like a very enthusiastically we'll chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. As the day progresses, in the afternoon, the sunrise comes, then body will become, and the evening comes in the ignorance, and again there is nothing in the stomach, then we'll become so weak, but still we'll chant Hare Krishna. Intensely we'll pray for Krishna also. And as soon as the morning, the Parayan time comes up, just the single drop of water touches the tongue. Can anybody realize that? What happens in the whole body? From the toenail to the top, it will become rejuvenate. The whole body will become like I cannot say like a tremble, but thing is, it's surcharged with the energy. It's like the pushti will come up. As soon as just single one drop. So that's what the devotees, when see the Supreme Person of a Godhead, they will become completely satisfied. And Kshudabhayu, then there is no more desire for taking inside the prasadam or something. So like that, the devotees, as soon as he gets, these are the two examples Srila Prabhupada used to narrate the example. Of course, there are some more examples are there. So we will see from the scriptures how the devotees got darshan of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, and how they got responded. As today's verse is saying that Daksha Prajapati also got darshan of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, but as soon as he saw the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Prajapati Daksha simply flat as a dandavat. Like when Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, when they saw the darshan of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just they did the prostrated obeisance, just like a dandavat, they just flat like a rod, danda. So Prajapati Daksha also is being simply flat after seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there is no words to speak. So there are some of the examples just which I want to narrate. As we know that Dhruva Maharaj, he also got the same thing darshan, then he didn't say anything, just I don't wanted anything, my Lord. Because even we know that actually I came here just to ask you he realized what he's asking. What he was asking for? Broken pieces of glass. Not even conch glass, even this very crystal clear, as we discussed in the initially, that without contamination, very transparent glass, even just broken pieces of glass. That's called the sense gratification, is just like broken pieces. The more we are depending on this of sense gratification in this world, just like the broken glass means our heart also will get broke. People say that I love my parents, but the parents are not loving, so then his heart get break. And the relationships in this material world, because of this, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Then when I'm not satisfying your senses, what happened? Then you will feel hurt. Because of that, and again I will become morose that my friend is not happy. But our original father and original friend, original lover, original suhrud, the friend is the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. Bhoktaram Yajnatapatam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrudam Sarvabhutanam. So he is the complete well-wisher of the whole world. So in that way, I don't wanted any sense desires. So then Dhruva Maharaj mentioned that I don't wanted anything. So he said, I wanted just to broken pieces of glasses, but I got your Supreme Personality of Godhead, yours darshan, which is very rare to get it. As we saw previously, 35 to 40th verse, the full description of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. For the yogi to meditate, actually, in Kapila Muni's section, Kapila Dev is describing about the devotional service to Mother Devahuti, about the meditation, and the yogi, how he has to supposed to meditate on the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, is beginning from the lotus feet. And going ahead towards to the full blossoming moon-like face of the Supreme Person of a Godhead. So complete description of this Pitambari Vastra, which Srivatsa on the chest and Kaustuba jewel, and on the waist he's having the belt. So similarly, so on and so forth, everything, the bracelet, anklets, and the full garland. And Prabhupada is narrated in this, especially that from the neck to from the lotus feet. It's such a huge, big garland. So in this way, for the description is there. So Lord, I got your Supreme Person of Godhead, your Darshan. So I don't have anything. I'm completely satisfied. And also Narada boy, he got also darshan. Then he also mentioned the same thing. But we want to describe about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very much eager to hear about these two stories like Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj. So as we just saw within few minutes that the Dhruva Maharaj. So even Prahlad Maharaj also got darshan of the Supreme Person of a Godhead. Of course, Lord Nrsimhadev appeared. Then he asked, Lord Nrsimhadev asked to Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad, so I'm so happy with you. I'm so happy with you. So whatever the benediction you want, just please ask me. At the time when Lord Nrsimhadev appeared, that every personality who appeared over there, Brahma, Shiva, even Lord Nrsimhadev's consort, Lakshmi Devi, everybody's, they are fear. They are fear. They are unable to go. Even his own consort is just going behind that. I never saw such kind of a ferocious form. Like obviously, like no wife will expect that the husband is like he's showing that Ugra Rupa, then she never expect that. So like that she said that I never saw such kind of ferocious, so then I cannot go near that. I don't know if I go, what happens then. But the pure devotee of the Supreme Person of a Godhead like Prahlad Maharaj is completely fearless. He know that. The Lord appeared. Even when his own father Hiranyakashipu was throwing from the mountains, throwing from the mad elephants, they are hitting, and the poisonous snakes are hissing, and he's boiling in the hot oils, and then everything, but still he's seeing that, my Lord. So he's seeing even the death personification of his own father, like his own Lord, his own mother and father, the Supreme Person of God, and he's embracing. So like that, he saw even that ferocious form also. Then he started praying to Lord Nrsimhadev. And when Nrsimhadev asked Prahlad Maharaj, please ask something. So Prahlad Maharaj said that, as we know that, it's not like a kind of a business, just because I am praying and I need to ask something, the benediction from you. Then he asked again and again, repeatedly, please Prahlad, I appeared just for the sake of yours, to just protect you. As we know that in Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada says that the Lord appears in this world just like, it's not just like actually to kill the demons. It's actually his secondary job. The first and foremost thing is to protect Paritranaya Sadhunam, to protect the devotees. And due course of time, just by in the protection of the devotees, to give them the protection, what happens is that, just like when we construct a building, then what happens? There are so many things we have to make clear and things. So then after that, the devotees is to do the prachata, and that because we have come into this, and there are the trees we cut, and there are the insects they are there, and the animals they are supposed to live in this earth, so we have vacated them. So it's not our purpose to vacate them and just to live, just for the living sake, this is a higher purpose, so then something is getting hurt. So in that way, Lord Krishna when appeared, and he wants to protect, in that protection actually, Vinashaya Dushkun, these people are being killed. So Prahlad, I appeared for your sake. So please ask. You are happy, just I wanted to become happy because I wanted to give something to you. So please ask something. He said that I don't have any desire. I don't want, because completely satisfied with your darshan, with your divine darshan. But at the end, again, we know that, okay, I should not have any material desires in my heart. That please, oh my Lord, there should not be any material desire in my heart. Okay, you don't have anything that. You are a pure devotee of mine. Please ask something. It's literally like Lord is behind Prahlad Maharaj. Just like in this mortal world, actually the people in this world, they will go to the temple. Oh Lord, please give me this. Oh Lord, please give me that. Oh Lord, if only you can give me this, I will break these many coconuts, and I will give my son to as a brahmachari, and so many we will pray. But thing is here, Lord is insisting Prahlad Maharaj that please ask something. Then at the end, Prahlad asked. that please, actually my father knowingly or unknowingly, he didn't identify you. See, there is a difference again here. The second part of this today's class is that the devotees, when they see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are completely satisfied because um, they are like almost all drinking the Lord's nectarian form. It's like consuming the Supreme Personality of Godhead completely in their heart. So, but the thing is, whereas the non-devotees, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead is there in front of them, but still they can't understand only who is that. That's the reason Hiranyakashipu is completely against to, and he is not understanding who is that Hari, where is he, where he is sitting, and Lord means even in three worlds are praying to Hiranyakashipu as the Lord and Master. So Prahlad Maharaj said that he is there in your heart as a Paramatma, and you are unable to find from where you are getting this much strength to rebel against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even the same Supreme Personality of Godhead is giving me the strength to believe of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it's become completely ferocious. And then he said that, where is your Lord? He said that, is there everywhere. Sarvantaryami is existing everywhere, like in your heart, and then he's existing everywhere. Oh, can you show me if he is available in everywhere, then he's there in this pillar? He says, so in that way, the materialistic people, they cannot see the Supreme Personality of the Godhead's original form. So like the Prahlad Maharaj also got darshan of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, and he was completely satisfied, and he also expressed that, I don't have any desire. I don't have any desire. As we know that even Gajendra also got darshan of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Just I will read this one shloka and the translation as it is by Srila Prabhupada. Swanta sarasyurubalena grihita ato दृष्ट्वा गरुत्मति हरिं का उपात्त चक्रम उत्कृष्य संभूतकरं गिरमाह कृच्छ्रान् नारायणाखिल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते. This verse comes from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 3, Gajendra Moksha in 32 verse. Prabhupada writes that Gajendra had been forcibly captured by the crocodile. The fight was going on hundreds and thousands of years in the water and was feeling acute pain. In the water, the animal, crocodile, is having full strength, and on the earth, the Gajendra is king. But Gajendra is somehow that the fate is dragged the Gajendra from the will of the providence, the Maya, into the water, into their lap. He's feeling acute pain. But when he saw that Narayana, so as we know that whole story, after that the Narayana appeared over there with the whole description what Srila Prabhupada had given today, that he's having the Pitambara Vastra on the Garuda with the Shankha Chakra, Gada Padma and all the things, few of the weapons for protecting the devotees, and other weapons are just to dispel asuras. So as soon as he saw, the Gajendra saw that Narayana having with the disc was coming in the sky on the back of Garuda, he immediately took a lotus flower from the pond with his trunk, and with great difficulty due to his pain, as we saw that feeling acute pain. With that pain also, he offered a lotus flower, and he uttered the following words: "O my Lord, Narayana, Master of the universe, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offered my respectful obeisances." He is not asking, please rescue me, please rescue me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared for that sake only, just to rescue the saints, the devotees. So he's offering just paying obeisances. He's completely satisfied. He's completely happy. He don't have any desire at all. So like the Gajendra also, he got darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's completely satisfied. As the child satisfied, as soon as he gets and sat in the lap of mother, and as soon as we take complete food when we are in hunger, how we are completely satisfied without any desire. So the examples of Gajendra, Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj. And last but not least of this Sridhar Kolavecha, just recently on the appearance day of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the full moon day. So 2 days before, there is an event of Madhavendra Puri's disappearance day. So I was going with that, and how Madhavendra Puri got darshan of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So we know that there is no desire. What does it mean of there is no desire? Does it mean that a devotee is desireless? No. Prabhupada says that desireless means no material desires. The only desire is spiritual desire, serving Krishna. In serving Krishna, yes, you ask everything. Prabhupada said the same thing. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur also asked Lord Jagannath, how this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement will flourish and happens, and who will establish that? I need help. I need the support of the devotees. I need the support. Please send your servant. So that's what his divine grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Of course, he's having so many children. But still one more kite. But he's asking for spreading Lord Chaitanya's mission. So this is called as the desire means. Even Madhavendra Puri is also having the desires. What are the desires? Of course, initially Lord's desire was, please pick me up from this forest, dense dark forest. So many people, because of that, my devotees who used to worship, and somehow or the other, when the Mughals are coming up, it's not like a buried, so they dug and they kept me under the earth, and now I'm feeling I have to be worshipped. Please, oh Madhavendra Puri, please bring me out and start worshipping. So this is what the desire of Gopal. And after that he asked, after establishing and started worshipping after Annakuta festival, and every day Annakuta festival was going on, again he asked Madhavendra Puri, one more desire of Lord, I'm feeling so hot. Because of so many years I was there on the earth. So I'm feeling so hot. I wanted to apply it with Chandan. Can you please bring Chandan? So it's a desire of the Lord. But eventually again, Rishikena Rishikesa Sevanam. So we have to align with the desire of the Supreme Person of a Godhead. When he was traveling to Jagannath Puri, he reached Remuna. And he thought, oh, here the Gopinath is accepting so many sweetmeats. So, and especially that Amrita Keli. And Prabhupada writes particularly that in the whole world, nobody offers such kind of a kheer. So he thought of, let my Gopal will get same kheer. If only I get taste little bit, I can understand how they made, how the preparation happens with the milk. Then I will go to Vrindavan and I will prepare to my Gopalji. So the desire is to serve Krishna. There is no his own personal desire. If only the desire would have been there when Lord appeared and then he told, please bring Chandan. From Vrindavan to, he has to travel to Malaya Chandan, and that too he specifically mentioned, Malaya Chandan. Go to Jagannath Puri. And don't send anybody, huh? Just generally when we we takes the help of somebody, and then we forget even sometimes taking the help, and at the cost of that, and we'll forget our own services also. Madhavendra Puri, he told, Lord himself instructed him, this service has to be done particularly, personally by you. And he doesn't have any desire that, I wanted this, I wanted the ticket, and I wanted few more assistants, this much kgs of the Chandan, how I can be? Nothing. He himself is completely satisfied with Darshan of the Supreme Person of a Godhead, satisfied with the services and ready to render more and more services. So after that, when I was reading about the 21 hours pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it comes from Srimad Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Madhalila 9.222 verse onwards. So Lord, how he anchors for the devotees. So the Srivas, he asked the Srivas in the Srivas Angan, please, today all the devotees worship me by doing Abhishekam. And everyone will get an opportunity. So generally, in a temple kind of scenario, like in a structure, then we'll get only the Brahman initiated devotees get an opportunity to serve the Supreme Person of Godhead and Abhishekam. And especially by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, and along with that, His Grace, our Sarvalakshan Prabhu's blessings, and this year, and the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so many people got the opportunity to render the Abhishekam. That's what actually Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioning. Srivas, today everyone will get the opportunity to render the services. Everyone, everybody should get opportunity to do the Abhishekam. Call everyone. So most of the times actually the maid servants and everyone will do their services in the rest of the back areas. But he calls even servants also got the opportunity to do the Abhishekam of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he called, there are some more. How you are getting this water person and everything. Dukhi, that Mataji is doing services from the Ganges, and she is picking up the water, and in the entrance she is giving it to the devotees of the Lord, and they are pouring into the Lord with the Ganga Jal. So call her. Then Lord started conversing with Mother Dukhi, and she asked, what's your name? My name is Dukhi. So how come you will become Dukhi? It's like sad. And you are serving my dear devotee Srivas. From today onwards, your name is Sukhi. So Lord identifies even the devotees, those who are present, he was giving the blessing, those who are not present in front of particularly. In that course of time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu observed one devotee is absent that time. Everybody was there. It was sudden meeting, sudden abhishekam. It was not like a presentation and pamphlet, posters and messages, WhatsApp and everything, nothing. And of suddenly Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expressed the desire and Shiva started arranging it in everybody. Then he identified one devotee. His name is Sridhar Kolavecha. Then everybody got shouted, who is Kolavecha Sridhar? Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, please call Sridhar. Then everybody searching, who is Sridhar? From where we'll get? Where is he? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself told, Sridhar always chants my name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, we are also chanting every day? No. He chants day and night. There is no sleep for him. In fact, during the night when he is chanting the holy name, because first thing is he is very poverty stricken, very thin, doesn't have anything to feed his belly, his family, no proper shelter. But he is completely satisfied, completely happy, and he always chants the holy name, even day and night. And in fact, when he is chanting the night, the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the neighborhoods feel that, what is this shouting? This fellow doesn't have any eating food, he is very thin. Of course, he might have feeling so hungry because of lacking of food. I think he is shouting, he is yelling, he is screaming, he is crying. But Lord understood that he is crying for me. He is crying. That's not crying of this materialistic crying. He is the Ananda Bashma. It's like a happiness with that. He is getting that much blissfully. So that these people, mundane people, are not able to understand. So you go nearby, then you will hear Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As soon as you are hearing, just go. That is your pathway. Of course, he says, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so and so address. But after going there also, just you will hear the holy name. Just keep on hearing, then you reach his destination. There the Sridhar will be there and you bring him. So the devotees will go there and they will bring the Kolavecha Sridhar back. Sridhar, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking you, please come back. That's all. As soon as he heard the name of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he fainted. It is written in the Chaitanya Bhagavatam that he fainted so much so that he is not getting up. In that ecstasy, all the devotees just took him up very gently. He brought in front of the Supreme Person of God, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and kept him. Sridhar, get up! Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, get up! Then he asked, he says about that. And then, of course, every story he narrates, and he said, today I want to give you a benediction. So see, till then, Sridhar is in so-called unconsciousness. As soon as he got darshan of the Supreme Person of Godhead, this, what do you call this, 24 hours Mahaprakash Leela, it's like Mahaprakash, the dazzling effulgence of the Supreme Person of Godhead, that's like a darshan. Was completely satisfied. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, Vishwambar replied, Sridhar, ask. What does it mean? Ask means ask some desire. Sridhar replied, oh Lord, then give me this benediction. Of course, he mentioned that is completely satisfied that. But the desire, what kind of a desire is asking is that it's very inspiring for us. Even we also has to aspire for this. Sridhar replied as follows in the words of Srila Prabhupada. Let that Brahmana who forcibly took away my banana leaves. Because everybody knows about the past, so I didn't narrate about the story that what exactly Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells that I used to bargain from. Very beautiful narration between the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sridhara. And sometimes Sridhar says that, why you are breaking my headache unnecessarily? If you want to this and then you won't take, because my prices are very less and the neighbor prices are much more higher. Or if you are thinking they are less and you are telling, better go there now. Why you are coming me and unnecessarily getting waste of my time and your time also? Please go there. So in this way, the conversation is to be there. Thus, we cannot understand so easily. So in that way, so he's asking, let that Brahmana who forcibly took away my banana leaves, that Lord, be my birth after birth. Let me always engage in the service of the lotus feet of that Brahmana, that boy who constantly quarrel with me. And while speaking in this way, Sridhara loves for the Lord increased, and he began crying loudly with arms raised. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On seeing that Sridhara crying, loud chanting, all the Vaishnavas assembled over there, they also started crying with the complete joyfulness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So then, that's why even King Daksha also saw the Supreme Person of the Godhead. In his presence, with that beautiful damsels of the Supreme Person of the Goddess, Darshan, he also simply got completely satisfied. He flat and prostrated obeisances to the Supreme Person of the Godhead and unable to speak or ask any benediction from the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Sorry for the delay for the time. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.